What is the move, Commanders Nation? Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Here we are.
It is Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. And look, Slim, I know the vibe in the city right now.
Oh, it's tough.
I know we were all sitting here looking at the calendar, just wishing we were prepping for the NFC Championship game instead of looking at mock drafts.
It is a somber mood in the DMV, I'm not going to lie to you. You watch the playoffs from the couch, and it stings. It's a real reality check on where we actually are versus, where we thought we were back in November.
It hurts. It really does.
Yeah.
But Mo, listen to me. If you thought we were just going to sit back and cry about the season ending, you are wildin'.
No time for that.
Because while we're hurting, the news cycle, it does not stop. The chaos that is happening at Commanders Park right now, the moves Dan Quinn and Adam Peters are making, it's about to get spooky.
It's definitely active.
To all my day ones, tap in because today we are unpacking a triple threat that just hit the timeline, and it is pure mayhem.
It is a significant news day. I'll give you that. We have, three major developments that we need to parse through. And honestly, the implications here are massive for the next 3 to 5 years of this franchise.
Massive.
We aren't just talking about position coaches. We are talking about the entire philosophy of the team.
We got the bombshell out of Buffalo Shawn McDermott gone, fired.
Yep.
We got the offense looking like a whole new joint with David Blau and a franchise legend's son coming home. And we got this heated search for a defensive coordinator that is turning into a full-blown soap opera.
It is a lot of moving parts. And I think the big question for the listener today, and really the mission of this deep dive, is to figure out, is this a master plan coming together, or is this an organization just scrambling to plug holes because their plan A walked out the door?
See, that's where you and I are going to fight today. Because I'm telling you, this is 4D chess. Quinn is playing the long game.
And I'm looking at the data, I'm looking at the experience levels, and I'm seeing some serious risks here. We're going to look at the defensive DVOA trends, we're going to look at play calling history, and we're going to see if the math actually matches the hype.
All right, let's do it.
But let's get into it. What's the first threat?
We got to start with the bombshell, Slim. Shawn McDermott.
Wow.
Buffalo Bills. 9 seasons. Gone.
This was the absolute surprise of the morning. No one saw this coming. Official reports confirm the Bills have parted ways with McDermott following their overtime loss to the Denver Broncos in the playoffs.
A kill, Mo. Just imagine making the playoffs 8 out of 9 years and getting fired.
I mean,
That is ruthless. That is cold.
it is a results-oriented business, and we have to look at the context. He won 5 straight AFC East titles.
Yeah.
That's not nothing.
Not at all.
He built a culture of winning in a place that had been, let's be honest, irrelevant for decades.
Yeah.
But no Super Bowl ring. And after nearly a decade, I think Buffalo just decided they hit a ceiling. It's the Andy Reid in Philadelphia scenario, Sometimes a very good coach stays too long and the message just gets stale.
But one man's trash is another man's treasure, you feel me? This opens the door wide for us.
It does put a big name on the market.
We are sitting here stressing about replacing Joe Witt Jr., trying to figure out who is going to fix this defense after Joe bounced to the Jaguars, and suddenly a dude with a top 5 defensive pedigree just falls into our lap.
I mean, it is convenient timing.
That's a look. That is the universe speaking to us.
Well, let's pump the brakes just a little bit. We need to analyze why he's available in the first place.
Yeah.
Yes, the resume is impressive. From 2019 to 2023, the Bills were top 5 in scoring defense in 5 out of 6 seasons.
Up 5.
That is objectively elite consistency. He runs that 4-3 base, heavy nickel, zone match scheme that is very, very difficult for quarterbacks to decipher post-snap.
Keep it a buck. That's exactly what we need.
It's a complex system.
We were out here looking like Swiss cheese last year. Top 5. Mo, I'd kill for top 15. Yeah. We need someone who can teach these young guys where to be.
That is fair. However, look at the trend line.
Uh-oh.
In 2024, the Bills' defense dropped to 11th in DVOA. In 2025, they were 12th.
Oh, no. 12th.
That is a decline. It's not a cliff, but it's a downward slope. And more importantly, look at the type of defense he runs. It relies heavily on elite safety play thing. Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer in their prime.
Okay.
Do we have that? We have talent, sure, but do we have the communication level, the IQ in the secondary to run McDermott's complex zone exchanges? I'm not so sure.
Oh, come on. You're nitpicking, Mo. Oh, no, they were 12th. Slim, we were 27th.
We were 27th in scoring defense, yes, but context matters.
Exactly. The context is 12th is a massive upgrade. You're talking about a guy who took over the Panthers defense back in the day and took them to Super Bowl 50.
He did.
He went to Buffalo, inherited a mid-defense, and turned them into monsters. You remember what he did with Tre'Davious White?
He's great with defensive backs.
He turned him into an all-pro.
He developed them well, I'll grant you that.
Yeah.
His track record with the secondary is strong. He is excellent at teaching DBs to read the quarterback's eyes and break on the ball.
Stamp that. Now imagine him with our young guys. Imagine Shawn McDermott getting his hands on Mike Sainristil. Imagine him actually teaching Emmanuel Forbes how to play the ball without getting cooked on a double move.
If Forbes is even still here.
That's another conversation, but the point is, McDermott develops dogs, and we have talent that needs direction. We have the athletes, we lack the IQ. McDermott brings the IQ.
I don't dispute his ability to coach DBs. I really don't. But here's the 4D chess angle you keep bringing up. Yes. Is he actually attainable?
Yes.
This isn't just about whether we want him. Reports are saying he is already being considered for 7 head coaching vacancies.
Yeah, everybody wants him. That tells you everything you need to know, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Adam Schefter is reporting teams are moving fast. If he can be a head coach again immediately, why would he come here to be Dan Quinn's coordinator? Why take a demotion when you can run your own show?
Because maybe he needs a reset.
A reset.
Look at Dan Quinn. He got fired from Atlanta, went to Dallas as a DC, reminded everyone he was a genius, and got another bag.
That's true. He did rehabilitate his image.
Maybe McDermott wants to just ball out on defense for a year, take the pressure off, and then take a better job later. Plus, Quinn wants an experienced DC. He specifically said he wants a former head coach to handle the NFC East pressure.
That is true.
McDermott fits the profile perfectly.
He does fit the profile. Quinn wants someone who understands the big picture, someone who has managed an entire locker room before.
Exactly.
McDermott has dealt with Mahomes, with Burrow, Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. He's battle-tested. He's not going to panic when the Eagles go up-tempo or when the Cowboys try to overload the line.
Exactly. And here's where it gets spicy. This is where the 4D chess really kicks in. Think about the Brian Flores situation.
Right. This is the leverage play. And this is where the listener needs to pay close attention to the domino effect because the coaching carousel is all connected.
Brian Flores is the guy everyone has been screaming for. We all want that aggressive, blitz-heavy scheme. But Flores is interviewing for HCC jobs too, and Minnesota is fighting tooth and nail to keep him.
Correct. The Vikings absolutely want to retain him if he doesn't get a head coaching gig. His contract situation in Minnesota is sticky, and the Vikings know he is the sole reason they were relevant defensively.
But now McDermott is on the market.
The new shiny toy.
If those teams that were looking at Flores for head coach suddenly pivot to McDermott because McDermott is available, that leaves Flores out in the cold for the big chair.
Which might force Flores to make a decision on his future faster. If the HC doors close because McDermott takes one of them, Flores might look at Washington as his best path back to the top. It makes us a more attractive option.
Yeah. Or if McDermott decides to take a coordinator job, he becomes the ultimate consolation prize for us. It's a win-win. Either we get McDermott, who is elite, or McDermott takes a head coaching job that Flores wanted, and Flores falls to us. Quinn is sitting back with his feet up, watching the dominoes fall.
I doubt Quinn has his feet up. Diana Rossini from The Athletic reported teams are ready to move rapidly on McDermott.
So we got to move fast, too.
If Washington wants him, they can't just wait for the dominoes. They have to make an aggressive offer. Autonomy, money, resources. You had to sell him on the vision.
And we got all that. We got Josh Harris's money now. We aren't pinching pennies anymore.
That's a big change.
We got a roster with Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, Frankie Louvu. We got pieces. If McDermott wants to prove he's still got the juice, coming to D.C. and turning this 27th ranked defense into a top 10 unit, that's the story of the year, Mo.
It would be a huge narrative shifter.
That's the narrative that gets him his next job.
It would certainly be that. But let's be real about the risk. If we chase McDermott and miss, and then Flores decides to stay in Minnesota, we might be left scrambling for the third or fourth option on our list. That's the danger of 4D chess. Sometimes you checkmate yourself. You end up with the guy nobody else wanted because you were too busy chasing the white whale.
Nah. Trust the process. Quinn knows what he's doing. But look, defense is only half the battle.
Right.
We got to talk about this offense, because if you want to talk about scrambling, some people are looking at this offensive staff and they are sweating bullets.
Feast or famine. That is the only way to describe the offensive restructuring. And honestly, famine is a very real possibility here if this experiment goes wrong.
Man, Cliff Kingsbury is gone. Joe Witt is gone. Bobby Johnson is gone.
He was house cleaning.
It was. And who steps up? David Blau.
The David Blau experiment. Let's unpack this for the people who don't follow the coaching carousel every single day.
Please do.
2 months ago, David Blau was an assistant quarterback coach, not the OC, not the passing game coordinator, an assistant.
And now he's the offensive coordinator calling plays for Jaden Daniels.
For a potential superstar.
That's a meteoric rise. Slim, that's hopping the line at the club.
It is an unprecedented risk. He has never called plays in a regular season NFL game. Ever. We are handing the keys to a Ferrari Jaden Daniels, coming off a season where he showed flashes of MVP potential, to someone who just got their learner's permit.
See, you're looking at the resume, I'm looking at the vibes.
Vibes don't win games against the Eagles' defense.
Jaden trusts him. That's the #1 thing. When Tavita Pritchard left for Stanford, Blau stepped up. He was in the trenches with Jaden all last year. He knows what Jaden likes. He knows what Jaden hates.
Trust is great, but competency is better. Can he scheme against Vic Fangio? Can he adjust at halftime when the Cowboys switch their coverage shells from cover 2 to inverted cover 3?
Okay.
Cliff Kingsbury, for all his faults, had seen every defense in the league. Blau hasn't. Not even close.
And he's got no ego, Mo. That was the problem with Kingsbury.
You think it was ego?
Cliff had his system. He wanted those long developing plays. Air raid this, air raid that. Meanwhile, Jaden is back there running for his life getting sacked because the routes took 5 seconds to develop.
The protection was a major issue.
Blau isn't married to a system. He's going to build it around Jaden. He's going to run what works, not what he wants to work.
That is the optimistic view. The skeptical view is that Cliff's system at least put up yards. The air raid concepts spread the field and created space.
And got our QB killed.
My worry with Blau is that we don't know his philosophy. Is he a West Coast guy? Is he a Shanahan tree guy? Is he an Erhard Perkins guy? We are flying blind.
So?
And if he fails, he takes Jaden's development down with him. You ruin a young quarterback by giving him bad coaching in year 2 and 3. We've seen it happen a dozen times in this league, in this city.
But he's not alone. This is why I'm hyped about the staff around him.
Okay.
Look at the O-line coach. Darnell Stapleton.
Promoting Stapleton was a logical move, I will admit that. He replaces Bobby Johnson. He's been the assistant AOL coach for 2 years. He knows the guys.
And who did he work with for those 2 years? David Blau. They got chemistry. They speak the same language. They've been in the same meetings.
That continuity is valuable. Stapleton knows the personnel. He knows the protection issues. And let's be honest, pass protection was a complete disaster last year. The sack rate was unacceptable.
A disaster. Jaden was on the ground way too much. I was holding my breath every single time he dropped back.
Stapleton's mission is crystal clear. Fix the pass protection. If you can't do that, it doesn't matter who calls the plays. Jaden won't have time.
Damn that.
I do like that they promoted Shane Tube to assistant AOL coach as well. It shows they're trying to build a pipeline of coaches who understand the culture. It's just they believe the technique was being taught right, but maybe the scheme or execution was off.
Promoting from within. It's a culture of trust. I love it. But the hire that really got me in my feelings.
Let me guess.
You know what it is. You know what I'm about to say.
I have a feeling I know where you're going with this.
DJ Williams, quarterback's coach.
The son of the legend.
Doug Williams, Super Bowl XC2 MVP, the first black QB to win a Super Bowl, a franchise icon.
You a true legend.
And now his son is coaching our franchise QB. Well, that's poetry. That is destiny. That's how you write a script.
It is a great story. It absolutely warms the heart. But we have to look past the last name. We have to.
What are you saying?
Is this a Nepo hire, or is he qualified? Because we've seen teams hire the coach's son or the legend's son, and it backfires spectacularly.
Don't start with that. He grinded for this. Don't disrespect the hustle.
I'm just asking the question. We have to. But looking at the resume right now, he started entry level with the Saints back in 2017.
Right.
He was an offensive assistant doing the grunt work, breaking down film at 2 a.m., drawing up scout team cards. Then he went to the Falcons, became the QB coach in 2025. He has climbed the ladder legitimately.
Thank you. He put in the work. He's 34 years old. He relates to the players. He's not some old dude yelling at clouds. And he's walking into a room with Jaden Daniels, who had a record-breaking rookie year but still needs to polish his game.
Jaden was fantastic. But the decision-making under pressure, it needs work.
It does.
The accuracy on intermediate throws, that 10 to 15-yard range over the middle, It needs to be more consistent.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Williams has a massive responsibility here.
Huge.
He's not just Doug's son. He's the guy responsible for the most important asset on the entire team. If Jaden regresses, DJ is going to be the first one under the microscope.
And he's got help, too. Danny Etling coming in as assistant QB coach.
Another former Purdue quarterback, just like Blau.
It's the Purdue connection. Blau, Etling, DJ Williams. It's a young, hungry room.
It is.
No old heads stuck in their ways. Just guys who want to grind and help Jaden cook.
I think it's a look.
It's definitely a trust circle. But circles can become echo chambers if you aren't careful. There isn't a lot of gray hair in that offensive meeting room.
Good.
Who is the guy saying, hey, we tried this in 2015 and it didn't work? Who is the guy offering the counter perspective? They all come from similar backgrounds, similar ages. That homogeneity can be dangerous when things go wrong.
We don't need gray hair. We need innovation. We need speed.
Yeah.
We need guys who understand the modern game. We need points. And we need to protect the quarterback. Innovation is useless if you're punting 8 times a game.
We're going to get points. Jaden is going to get points. But let's pivot back to the defense, because while McDermott is the dream, there's a whole list of other cats we're looking at.
Right.
And this debate is tearing the fan base apart. I'm seeing people fighting on Twitter right now about this.
The defensive coordinator shortlist. It is quite a mix of profiles. It really shows that Adam Peters is casting a wide net, or perhaps they don't know exactly what identity they want yet.
You got the aggressive guys, the safe guys, the young guys. Let's talk about the people's champ, Brian Flores.
Flores is the clear favorite in terms of fan sentiment. Currently, the Vikings DC.
The man is a savage. Blitz from everywhere. That's his motto. He wakes up and chooses violence.
His defense in Minnesota was elite last year. Top 5 in scoring, takeaways, yards per play. But it's the way he does it. He uses what we call simulated pressures and cover OVO looks. He lines up 7 guys on the line of scrimmage. The quarterback has no idea who is coming and who is dropping into coverage. It causes absolute panic.
That's what I'm saying. We were so vanilla under Joe Witt. Cover 3, cover 1, sit back and hope the front 4 gets home. And what happened?
You got picked apart.
Hurts cooked us.
Yes.
Dak cooked us. We need to make these QBs suffer. Flores brings the pain. I want opposing quarterbacks to wake up on Tuesday mornings still sore from our defense.
He does bring that physicality. But again, the hurdle is his ambition. He wants to be a head coach. He has been very vocal about that.
So,
if we hire him as DC, are we just renting him for 1 year before he leaves again? Continuity matters. If Jaden have to learn a new offense this year, do we want the defense learning a new, very complex scheme again next year?
I don't care if it's 1 year.
Really?
If he fixes the defense and gets us a playoff win, it's worth it. Rent him. Let him cook.
That's a fair argument. High impact, short term, maximizing the rookie contract window.
Okay.
But what about the hometown hero, Denard Wilson,
Okay, DeMatha, high school stand-up.
the local kid?
DMV native, played for the Redskins back in '04. You know we love our local guy.
He was the defensive coordinator for the Titans last year.
It's a good story. Bringing a local guy home, it just feels right.
The story's good. The stats, they're mediocre. The Titans' defense was mid-pack. They were 16th in DVOA. They were average against the run, average against the pass, just average.
Was that him or was that the talent? Let's be real. Tennessee ain't exactly loaded. They're rebuilding too.
It's always a mix. But when you look at the Titans' tape, you didn't see a schematic advantage week in and week out. You didn't see the fear factor you see with the Flores defense. With Flores, you see the scheme elevating the talent. With Wilson, the defense was exactly equal to the sum of its parts. Not worse, but not better.
So you're out on Wilson.
I'm cautious. I think he's a solid coach. He's a professional. But is he a transformer? We need a transformation. We were 27th. We need someone to grab this defense by the neck and shake it up. What about Carl Scott?
The rising star. Seahawks DB coach. Pass game coordinator.
He has never been a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Never called plays at the NFL level.
That's risky. Very risky. But he's young. He's innovative. The Seahawks secondary has been balling. They got that Legion of Boom 2.0 vibe going on.
It has. He's widely respected as a teacher. He comes from the next Saban tree originally. He knows how to coach technique.
Yeah.
If Quinn wants to groom the next big thing, Scotton's the pick. But again, paired with a rookie offensive coordinator in Blau, do you really want a rookie defensive coordinator too? That is 2 first-time play callers on one staff.
Ooh, that's a lot of learning on the job. That's a lot of oops, my bad moments in week 4 when we're playing the Giants.
Precisely. And that's why the veteran names like Joe Cullen and Jonathan Gannon are still hovering around.
Ugh. Joe Cullen is ancient Mo. He's 58. Chiefs D-line coach.
He knows the D-line, though. With Allen and Payne, that could be a very strong fit. He's intense. He coaches hard. But is he the future? Probably not. He's a high floor, low ceiling hire.
And Gannon. Look, Slim, I know he was the Eagles' DC and they were good, I get it. But did you see that Arizona tenure? That joint was a mess.
He failed as a head coach in Arizona, no question. But many great coordinators fail as head coaches. Steve Spagnuolo failed as a head coach. Now he's a legend in KC. Dan Quinn had to reset.
I guess.
Gannon knows the NFC East. He knows how to scheme against these offenses because he was just in Philly. He knows the personnel.
I just can't get the image of that Cardinals team out of my head. They looked lost. I don't know if I want that energy here. It feels like going backward.
So it comes back to the big two for you. It's McDermott or Flores.
It has to be. We are at a crossroads, Slim. We have the quarterback. We have the ownership. We have the momentum. We cannot settle for a safe pick.
No.
We need a heavy hitter. We need someone who walks in the room and the players sit up straight.
I agree that this hire defines the entire offseason. The roster has potential. Jaden, Allen, Payne, Luvu. The core is there. But if the coaching staff can't elevate them, we're going to be having this exact same conversation next January.
Yeah.
We're going to be sitting here on January 20th, 2027, talking about what went wrong.
Don't put that evil on me. Don't you dare.
I'm just keeping it a buck.
Yeah.
I know you're hyped on the Blau hire, but I'm still very nervous.
Why? Why?
Because the NFL will expose inexperience. It is a ruthless, ruthless league. If Blau can't adjust when defenses figure out his tendency in week 6, the offense stalls.
Okay.
If the offense stalls, the defense is on the field too long. It's a domino effect. We saw it last year. The complementary football just wasn't there.
Or, hear me out.
I'm listening.
Blau unleashes Jaden because he understands him better than Cliff ever did. The offense puts up 30 a game, and whoever we hire at DC just needs to get 2 stops a half.
Optimism is a hell of a drug.
It's not a drug, it's a lifestyle. Adam Peters and Dan Quinn are building a culture of trust. High energy, people want to be here now. You see DJ Williams coming home. You see McDermott potentially looking our way.
It's different.
That doesn't happen to the old Washington. The old Washington had to overpay mediocre coaches just to get them to interview. This is a new era.
It is certainly different.
Oh.
Whether it works, that remains to be seen. But the strategy is clear. High upside, high trust, and very high risk.
So look, let's wrap this up. We got a crazy offseason ahead of us.
It's only January 20th. We have free agency, the draft. This is just the beginning.
But right now, the question on everyone's mind is the DC. So I got to ask the listeners, Commanders Nation, who do you all want?
Yeah, what's the move?
Are you pressing the button for Shawn McDermott and that experience, even if he might be a little washed? Or are you riding with Brian Flores in the chaos? Or maybe you want the hometown kid Wilson?
Or do you think the risk of 2 rookie coordinators is just too high? Let us know. This is a pivotal moment for the franchise.
Hit us up in the comments, on the timeline, wherever you at. We're going to be tracking this every single day. This is the deep dive, and we are locked in.
Absolutely. We'll be back as soon as the news breaks on this.
Keep your head on a swivel, Slim. Hail to the Commanders.
Hail to the Commanders.